Everyone who's available, please come join the meeting. It's starting right now using the Zoom link above. John's. Not. Well, that's good. There's two so far. Can you guys unmute your mic or do you need me to? I guess I'll have to do it.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
No.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, Scott.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Wait a few more minutes and see who else is going to kick in. John.
It was a
Yes.
little short notice today, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I was hoping to get some of it. Is that which John is that? Is that John Graham?
John Garham.
Hey, right on. Yeah, it is short notice. So I was hoping to snag a couple of you, and then maybe I'll snag some more people tomorrow, and then some more on Wednesday, and whatnot. So we'll give it a few more minutes and see who else is going to join us, and let's find out what's going on.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
It was windy.
you don't have to use your videos if you don't want to show your handsome faces. That's perfectly okay.
Yeah, I just got my phone on the table. I don't know if it would be much of a face. It'd be more all neck.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
It was windy as hell yesterday, I'll tell you.
Uh,
Yeah, I was coaching kids at that point.
Oh, geez.
So that'd be fun. That'd be fun to play in those conditions.
Well, you'd have to aim the opposite way if you wanted to kick straight. You'd have to kick at 45-degree angle the other way.
Yeah, and then you'd have to kick it with such power it would overcome the wind that's blowing on it. Yeah.
Right.
That would be a challenge to do that.
And I think our only goal was because the wind caught it and sort of went into the top of the net. So
Yeah. How did the game go anyway? Or so what happened? Was the end result?
it was, what was 6-1? Something like that. I lost track after that.
Who'd you guys play against?
Um, I don't even remember. I think they were green.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll wait 2 more minutes and then we'll just start.
Okay.
Felipe has joined us.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Felipe.
Hey.
Cool, cool. Felipe Pizarro. Yeah. Yeah, 1 more minute, we'll just jump in. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, 9:05. let's just start. And then I noticed this. Thank you, the three of you that they're showing up tonight. Hopefully, someone else will kick in a moment. I am going to do these meetings. Another meeting tomorrow and Wednesday to catch a few more players, and then try to hook up with some other players to find out what's going on. So right now we're sitting at I believe 22, 23 players on the roster, and I left the remaining spots open just for females so we can get more females on the roster. So what I can tell you from the rep chat for the other teams that they're also struggling for players to show up. Like more than half of them are asking for extra players or substitutions to come in to help out because of um, short uh, short rosters. And what I want to do is just sort of chat with everyone and see is like, what can we do different? What's the vibe on the team? Is it an issue of the vibe on the team that's causing a drop in attendance? Is it, are there some players that are just not bothering to show up? In which case, maybe I should just punt them from the team and replace them with other players because I do have people that I've said no to so far. Um, and yeah, so I'd like to just open up the floor to an open chit chat to sort of brainstorm and get a vibe as to what's going on. And this discussion it is uh, oh okay, right. So I'm going to share this with the other people that haven't made it, just so that they can just be on the same page with the discussion. So yeah, please, floor is open. Anyone want to step up and see some comments or observations?
I can start with myself, I guess.
Go for it, Scott.
So I mean, I'm guilty. I've missed 2 games. One was Mother's Day, and then I was traveling for business that week, so I didn't want to upset my wife. And the other one, my daughter just had her first communion, so we had a big family gathering for that, so I couldn't make it. But I mean, other than that, like for the games that I have attended, I think the biggest problem our team's had is always being down a man. So we've only had 3 girls at the games that I've been to. So it just makes it challenging because I mean, you're obviously a man down, so we have to typically defend more and do a bit more running than the other team has to do. So I don't know. I've still enjoyed the games that I played in, even though we've kind of lost. It's still been fun, and I think I don't think anyone's like discouraging on the team. I think everyone still has a good vibe. So, I mean, I think that's just my general feedback.
All right. Well, Scott, thanks for sharing. And first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to your daughter's first communion. That's important. That's a special thing. And as to the other reasons, I think if someone has like family or work or lifestyle things that prevent them from playing, that's fine. And we wouldn't want you to skip a game. If you skip Mother's Day and then that leads to a divorce, I don't want that to happen. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, no, those are all legitimate. My concern is maybe I'm being, I don't know, preemptive or something like that, but I just want to make sure that everyone is staying on the team because they want to play and they have, family or career or actual issues that, take them away from that. And then, I'd like to narrow that down to if a player maybe made a mistake to come on the team because, their work commitment can only allow them to play, 2 or 3 games for the whole season, then that poses a bit of a challenge. So, um, I, I think you're in the clear, Scott. So I'm glad for you to, be forthcoming like that. So, I think I said, We have, 23 players on the roster, and I believe, I think we only have 5 girls on it. Nicole, Kira, Kelly hasn't shown up yet. That's 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we only have 5 girls in the roster. So usually I carry a complement of 8 girls in the roster. Um, yeah, so I'm on the hunt for a couple more, and I'd like to keep those spots open, but um, we'll play it by ear. But John, you're on screen here. Would you like to make some open comments?
Yeah, sure. So I've been to every game so far, and I will be taking some vacation in July and August. But I think it's been pretty consistent with the players I've seen from game to game. I mean, there's sometimes, a new players that show up, but seems like there's a good core there. And what I've noticed is in the second half, we play extremely well. We're competitive. In the first half, it's just not good. So, and I also noticed that Xander, um, especially in the second half yesterday, was coaching us a bit more, and that sort of helped us figure out what we were doing. So having that direction was really positive. And I think, we don't expect, to win every game, obviously, but I'd like to see us at least be competitive within a goal or two. That would be, because sometimes when you're down 5 goals at the end of the game, you're sort of like, oh, geez, you'd like to see that gap being narrowed. But I think everybody's, trying their best, and it's a pretty good spirit. But like I said, having closer games, and I don't know if it's ever possible to have just like even one practice where we just go through a few plays or try to figure something out and be a bit better organized. I think that might help improve our game.
Yeah, those are John. Thanks very much. Those are good comments. I would hope that, like, I assume you guys are getting invites for the Saturday afternoon Lister Hall kickabout. Those are casual scrimmages, and I really encourage you guys to come to that. That would give you an opportunity to sort of develop more ball handling skills and to work on some formations and stuff like that. And that's just basically an open fun scrimmage, where you don't have to go full throttle, so you don't burn yourself out for the game on Sunday. But I would totally recommend if you guys can get together, like maybe on a Wednesday evening or something like that somewhere. uh,
Yeah.
but I'll leave that up to you guys to figure out. I can tell you that it's hard to organize that. I don't
Hmm.
know any team, co-ed or otherwise, that gets together for practices. Like, there might be a handful of players that maybe can make it. Most often they can't, because it's purely rec. But definitely there's value to just come wherever you can. And that's one of the reasons we set up that scrimmage Spartan footy session, either Wednesday mornings indoor or Saturday afternoons at 3:30 at Lister Hall. That's a great additional field time for yourself to come and join that. And Felipe has been there. I think that was preseason. He came to 1 or 2 sessions to the Saturday drop in that we do. So all we can do is just keep spreading the word about that. So good comments, John. Felipe, you're the last one.
Yeah, I'd agree with most of what's been said. Like the vibe's been really good, and we have different players at different skill levels, and I've played co-ed in other leagues and other in other places, and I've really I've been pleasantly surprised at how patient everyone is. Everyone's a really good sport as far as, again, skill levels. And so I think the vibe is great. Um, it really does come down to numbers. I would agree where, yeah, the last game it was like what the other team had a full team. We had 8 players. So right off the bat, it was, to John's point, we weren't really clear on who was playing where or positionally we needed to be stronger as far as committing to where our assigned positions were. But
Yeah.
in the second half, where Xander was more vocal, we were maybe more vocal about coaching each other too. It got better. So to start it there, I felt that one of our strongest games was actually the game where we had a full team and we had to call the game because of lightning. But we
Mhm.
had, even though we were down by a goal, we actually had really good chemistry with each other. Everyone was organized and we had a good flow going. Yeah, it was unfortunate we had to cut that game short. And it's really surprising to hear that we have 22 players.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, you're at, yep, you're 22 players. I'll just do that count again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's sitting at. Yeah. Yeah, those are great comments, Philip. It's really good and positive to hear that, people are, that you're all asking for, some more structure and organization, and that you like that and welcome it, when it's demonstrated. And it's good that you guys are talking to each other. So that's a good component, I feel, for team building and bonding and stuff like that. Because like this team keeps getting rostered into this season, so I'd like to keep as many of you as possible on the squad for the indoor season. But yeah, those are good comments. Yeah, I don't know what else to add at this point. I'm glad the three of you were able to join. I'm gonna format this video once it's ready, and then plop it into the hopefully I can plop it into the WhatsApp group so people can hear some comments and review it. And then I'll host this again tomorrow and Wednesday. So were there any other comments that any of you wanted to add, or observations or anything like that at this point?
maybe it would help if I think there's a position field within TeamSnap, if we just committed to positions even
Yeah.
offline or outside of the field, and then we know where we're all playing and we can just, again, just commit to that. Here's where we're going to stick to in terms of our zone and what we'll commit to defensively too.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It gets tough though when like you only have a couple subs and then you start subbing and people get moved around, right? So I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
If you
agree.
can
But,
communicate when you're coming off to the sub where you played, I noticed we did that for the first game for a few times, and then we sort of lost doing that, and that's when things started to sort of fall apart on the pitch. But we can call out our positions when we leave to sub. Maybe that would help.
Well, that's a good call. That's a good call. I'll look into that option on TeamSnap for layouts, and a good point, Scott. Like if you're playing short, then it's kind of hard to rotate, because you're filling in whatever whatever's available, and people are going to shuffle around. I have to deal with that on my youth teams as well, when when the kids are either short or they get confused as to where they should be playing. But yeah, that's actually quite common in a lot of even the amateur level on men's teams and on my masters teams. It's the same stuff, and we'll have lots of subs, and doing a lineup is certainly beneficial. I do that for my other teams, when there's more consistent a turnout, so that it's easy to plan those kind of things for a soccer lineup. But yeah, those are all valid points. Any other comments, or shall we just adjourn for the night?
I think that's it from my side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm good.
good.
All right, gentlemen. Well, you all have a great night, and thanks for joining me for this 18-minute meeting. That's awesome.
Okay, thanks.
Short
Bye.
meetings is
Yeah.
best. Okay, take care.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
See you next. Bye.
Mm.